The big thing that they did, which honestly on the surface really doesn't seem like much, was that they traded Eric Tangradi to Montreal slash technically Hamilton for Peter Budaj and Patrick Holland. Now, first, before I go off, I'd just like to, again, I'm not sure if this is technically true because Eric Tangradi was in the AHL when this was done. But let's just take a moment to congratulate Kevin Cheveldayoff on his first ever NHL player for player trade.
Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk.
Yes, nice work, Chevy. But all right, enough of that.
Yeah.
This is nice. That was really well done, Neil. This trade, for so many reasons, is so freaking confusing and just ridiculous. Yes, I'll give them a small amount of credit because the Jets managed to get something out of a player. Like, holy crap, they got something from somebody. Mm-hmm. They were going to get rid of it anyways. First of all, I do want to kind of cover my issue with this. Eric Tangradi getting sent down, yeah, it's not a big deal, but I don't understand why he of all players was sent. Like, I'm going to argue right off the hop that he was more of a use to this team than Chris Thorburn and Anthony Peluso. On his way out, I think Paul Maurice was asked, like, why? What was the point of this? And in the press conference, he made a statement saying the team isn't better with him.
Nah.
I don't care. The team is worse when you have Chris Thorburn on it.
Definitely.
Why?
Yeah, well,
why is he still here?
That case could be made for any of those guys who slot in on the fourth line. The team is no better.
But
with
still,
them.
like,
so that's why it
in
doesn't.
My opinion, there's a difference between not being better with a player and just clearly and obviously being worse with a specific player on the ice.
Yeah.
And Chris Thorburn on the ice, this is a worse team.
Definitely.
They are bad.
Yeah.
Like, I get that Eric Tangradi wasn't exactly putting up huge points, but he was like the only Jet to be a positive possession guy in protected minutes. The only one last year.
Yeah.
Where if you know player usage charts at all, that bottom right quadrant, go look at it. He's the only guy in the positives.
Yep.
But no, let's just waive him and send him away and then trade him and bring back a couple guys. Like, why was he the one? Why? Why him? Yes, he can't finish. I don't give a shit. Why was he the one not sent? Like, why?
Yeah, that move doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. But it's just got to be. Well, what's
stupid?
What's Peluso's contract? Because
I don't give a shit. It's dumb.
Well, no, I agree, but I'm just trying to look at reasons why they would choose Tangradi over any of those other guys.
Like whatever. It's stupid. You should have given Thorburn the contract he did first. Steve Dangle has this concept. I can't remember where he first got it from, but he talks about it a lot. Is that good teams are basically your top players and then a grouping of competent bums.
Yeah.
Players who aren't superstars, they're not great players, but they're competent at what they do.
They have a role and they do it.
Eric Tangradi, in my opinion, is like a middle of the group competent bum.
Yeah.
Chris Thorburn is a piece of shit.
So
Chris Thorburn is a piece of shit making $1.2 million for more than 1 year on this team.
3 years.
And you decide that Eric Tangradi is a problem? No. Just no. But you know what? Okay. You traded him. You got something back for him.
Yeah, they did.
All right? Whatever.
My favorite is, like, I can't remember the name of the guy. Somebody was saying, somebody was beaking at Travis on Twitter for for being upset that he's like, well, you're really sad that he made a player for player, or he got rid of a player and gained two. And I'm like, how is that in any way like something you should look at as being positive? Like, how does it matter? Like what, like the amount of players involved in the trade?
I could see an argument where you get two back, because if you're talking like asset management side, you could still like, you could trade both of those players for more things.
Yeah, but
again, Chevy's not going to do that.
There's way more to a trade than just like, oh, I'm going to give this team one player and get two back. I totally won that one. Ha, suckers.
Yeah. Did I even say who he was traded for?
No.
Peter Budaj and Patrick Holland, just in case I haven't got that out there. I'm furious right now. Okay, but yeah. Anyways, as a result of this trade, which again was a player that is a useful fourth line player in some situations, you trade him away. You get back a guy who's pretty much been a career AHLer to this point. He's a young kid, whatever. I see you might get something for, like, whatever. No prospect ever gets a real fucking shot in this franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
So who gives a shit that you got him back? But you also got Peter Budaj. As a result of this, one of Pavlik Budai or Hutchinson needs to now go on waivers as of noon tomorrow. Now let's just think of the scenarios here of who could be sent down.
It's not going to be Pavlik.
It's not going to be Pavlik.
No.
I think we've all come to accept that this shit show of an organization has accepted Pavlik as their savior for some fucking stupid reason.
Oh, yeah.
For the next however many stupid years.
He was
AKA, you're fucked.
Handed the starting job like the middle of the summer.
He was handed the starting job before free agency.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck Jesus.
So
But yes, obviously, Pavlik's not going to
He's not going on
Pavlik's
waivers, whether we like it or not.
Budai makes $1.4 million this season.
So he's probably not going to be going on waivers.
So even if they send him down, this team would be paying him that much money to play in the AHL. And for an apparent internal budget team, an internal cap, we need to spend our dollars wisely. Yet we're going to give Chris Thorburn $1.2 million.
And then pay some...
They're not going to let him play in the AHL for $1.4 million.
Yeah.
I understand your argument that maybe he's meant to go give guidance. No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
So that means that Michael Hutchinson, the guy who has outperformed both of those goaltenders in the AHL, is going to be on waivers tomorrow.
Yeah.
You are sending... No, this franchise continuously praises over and over and over and over and over again. Draft and develop, draft and develop, draft and develop. This is what we're going to do. We're going to sit on our fucking hands for 3 years and draft and develop. Yet for some fucking ridiculous reason, every goddamn signing, and now the one NHL player for NHL player trade this GM has made, blocks and prevents prospects from either moving up in the system or even developing past where they already are. How is that a draft and develop mantra? How? You're just blocking them.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Peter. Like, I don't really see what he adds. Like, say your leadership or whatever, or he's been in the league.
How many guys who are good in the room can you have?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just
How
don't.
How bad is this room?
I just don't care at that point. Like, you got your friggin' Mark Stewart, you got your Captain Andrew Ladd, you got your Chris Thorburn, who are all guys great in the room. You can't have a team of guys that are leaders and great in the room. That's just not how. Like, you can't just have a full team of that.
You can only spray so much Febreze in a room that's full of shit before you realize your room is full of shit.
Yeah, and then you just get like that little whiff of Febreze that's like kind of mixed with the shit, and you're like, this is even worse than just regular shit.
You can only put so much shit on the fucking ice. Yeah. Like, from every aspect, this is stupid. Instead of paying Hutchinson, a guy that has worked his way up from the ECHL and developed, sure, you didn't draft him. You traded for him, though. Instead of paying him less, like, what, $550,000 is how much you're actually paying him this year?
It's like under $600,000.
To learn... Admittedly, learn behind probably some questionable coaching and a shitty goaltender in the NHL, get some chances and see what you can do, work with the team that you're probably going to take over, or could have taken over.
At least get a chance to play against NHL players.
You are going to pay one of the few goaltenders who is worse than Andre Pavlik $1.4 million to back him up?
That's rare. You know, you don't get a lot of NHL goaltenders who are worse in their career than Pavlik.
Oh!
That's pretty impressive.
If you're not watching the YouTube video, I'm so, aggressively flailing my arms right now.
Big time.
Garrett tweeted this out earlier. I want you to listen to this.
I would love to.
AHL numbers. Andre Pavlik, 117 games played, 913 save percentage in the AHL. Mm-hmm. Peter Budai, 175 games played, 913 save percentage in the AHL. Michael Hutchinson, 134 games played, 921 save percentage in the AHL.
Big step up there. Yeah.
Duh! NHL numbers. Again, sample size is obviously an issue here. 288 games played in the NHL for Andre Pavlik. 906 save percentage. Peter Budai. I don't have it here. He played about the same number of games. I think 260, 270 something.
Yeah.
903 save percentage for his career.
Even worse.
Michael Hutchinson, 3 games played, 943.
Yeah, you can't really take anything from that.
But look at his AHL numbers.
Yeah. But there's also no way to...
I don't care.
Success in
You're
the
just
AHL
going to stick with what you know
leads to success in the NHL.
Instead of trying something new. You're going to judge Hutchinson on 4 or 5 preseason games, decide he's not good enough?
Yeah.
After you've given, Pavlik 3 years and still think something's going to fucking change? 4 or 5 games, you make up your mind on Michael Hutchinson, worth losing him for literally nothing on waivers tomorrow because Pavlik of a few preseason games.
Travis, he's in the best shape of his life.
You're risking losing a kid on waivers for a guy you already know is fucking brutal.
How many guys actually get picked up on waivers this close to when teams are declaring their final rosters? I don't really think that's going to happen.
I don't give a shit if you think it's not going to happen. Not you specifically, but the Jets. It could.
I know. Yeah,
it could happen.
It's totally possible. I agree.
Give the kid a fucking chance, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, what is the logic behind this? Sending him down. You don't only risk losing him. If he gets through, he's now sitting in the exact same position he was last year.
Yeah.
A position he is career-wise been better than both the guys you have in the NHL now. Playing against the exact same level of competition, getting the exact same coaching he did last year, sitting ahead of Connor Hellebuyck, which limits his growth. So now you've got another prospect who's not playing.
Yeah. I don't see what the Jets' issue was with having Pavlik play his regular role that they're going to have him play anyways, and then just have Hutchinson back him up. You know, like...
There was no problem with that.
What's going to go wrong, really, in that situation?
What's the worst thing happens?
Yeah.
Oh, he just does exactly what Pavlik does?
Exactly. The worst thing...
What's the best case scenario that can happen? He takes the job!
The best case scenario is he develops awesomely as a backup and, you know, eventually gets to take that starting position.
That's how NHL goalies come to be!
Exactly. And then the worst case scenario is, he's not who we thought he could be, didn't really work out, whatever.
And at least you've had Hellebuyck playing in the AHL, developing his game.
And then, whether you trade him or however it works out, but at least, there was something there to try. But
draft and develop my fucking ass.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, it's stupid, it's fucking horseshit.
Yeah, it seems really strange that why they wouldn't try that. Because, like you said, what's there to lose, really? I mean, you know what Budaj is going to give you. He's going to do the same thing that he's done his whole career, and we know that that's below par.
And you're paying $600,000.
Yeah.
You're paying Hutchinson's contract twice to get it.
To get probably what's going to be worse than
what you would have gotten from Hutchinson, like, worst case scenario anyways.
Exactly. So, yeah, it doesn't really seem to make much sense.
Pavlik has to have, like, nude pictures of Chevy somewhere.
That was a good tweet. I enjoyed
He has to.
Yeah.
He has to.
Yeah, Travis tweeted earlier, in case you missed it. I'm calling it Pavlik has Chevy nudes.
The second competition comes, you just... Look, I'm going to show these if you don't fucking get rid of this, and you throw the guy on waivers. Alright. I just... No.
No.
No.